guys, it's Black Scout Survival, and we're following up with our series on caches. And this may be a 3-part series because I don't think I'm going to be able to cover everything in this one video here. So check out part 1 if you haven't, and check out the next one to get the full scoop on everything we're going over. But in the first one, we talked about introductions and why you need caches. In this video, we're going to talk about types of containers and also the locations of caches, and just some tips for you guys that have plan on building some and setting them out. Caches, like I said, can be above ground, below ground, hidden in on site, off site. So a container that you bury needs to be waterproof, obviously. Like ammo cannons is one of my chosen caches. Also use PVC. You can use Pelican cases, the military style rifle cases that lock up. They have different name brands other than Pelican, but Pelican is one type. You can use 5-gallon buckets or 55-gallon barrels. You can use a variety of things. If it's waterproof and it's crush proof, you can bury it. So the problem with burying, though, is that with the one benefit, a pro of it, is that it's less likely to get discovered. Okay, so you're not usually it's not going to be found by anybody else unless it's like way in the future somebody starts digging up, building a residence there or whatnot. The problem is that it requires digging and retrieving. Okay, it also will be hard to find. You're going to need to know your exact location, and then, like I just said, someone could build a structure over it, and you can't get to your cache anymore. So especially along a bug out route where you're putting it off site, you need to just go ahead and accept the fact that it may be compromised. It may be found, and you may never see it again. And so with that, off-site caches, to me, needs to be deniable. You shouldn't have registered weapons to you in a cache off-site. They shouldn't be out of your home. You should not put weapons as registered to you off-site, because they could be discovered, your weapon, and then you're arming criminals. And that's just not the way to go. Or somebody has your weapon, that's a weapon that you lost. So don't put weapons registered to you in caches off-site. So burying is one way, and like I said, it's hard to find them sometimes. And if you bury them out here in the wilderness, a few things that you can do if you do bury them. Sprinkle some scrap metal around it, so if somebody does have a metal detector, it'll throw them off. The other thing is you can throw crushed old beer cans around the area, so then that will give you a visual signal where that is, because you'll find litter and trash everywhere you go. You throw cans, I say that because they're less likely to be moved than water bottles or whatnot, or paper trash. Throw them down, and it'll give you a visual signal where to find it at. So then you have above ground, and that's why I have this container camouflage, so it can be buried or used above ground. Because it's camouflage, I can go hide it, and it's probably not going to be found. But the problem with above ground is that it can be compromised fairly, easier than it is than buried. But it's easier to retrieve, so that's a benefit to it. On-site, like I said, can be basement, closet, garage. It can be anywhere on your property. It can be hidden inside stuff. You can have a coffee can with money in it stored up in your pantry. That's the on-site cache. You can have a big barrel that says dog food and have a pistol stuffed down in there. So that's on-site caches. Off-site caches, like what I discussed, pretty much anything you put anywhere else. You put it at a friend's house, a family member's house. You put buried along the way on your bug out route at any other location. So the thing is, like I said, in your off-site cache, everything must be deniable. You shouldn't have identifications. You should not have anything in there that can be linked back to you, because it may be compromised. It could be discovered. Natural disasters may also make it impossible for you to get to your cache, so you need to have multiple ones. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. So, when you bury a cache, they should be checked pretty regularly, once or twice a year, and the items that you have in here should have a long shelf life. So, find an off-site cache, use a GPS coordinate, memorize paces from a tree to a certain distance from the cache, so you march out, and that's another way to discover after you've hidden it. And you can put initials in a tree, Jane Doe and John loves John Doe and a heart, and that signifies, hey, that's where the cache is at. So these are just things that can throw it off, but also use detailed maps, You can also use illumination, a little tax used by hunters that has a glow in it. You can mark a trail to the cache if you need to, but that also is a little funny. People may just think it's there for hunters. So those are just some things to think about when you're in preparation of putting your caches out, and what type of containers. The type of containers is limitless. If you have a rifle, it's obviously not going to fit an ammo can this size. You're going to need a big PVC pipe. So you got to take all these things into consideration. But check out part 3, and we'll go over some contents that you need to put in your caches. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.